AppArmor is essentially a mandatory access control system for Linux, or MAC. This allows the system administrator to restrict programs' capabilities with per-program profiles. Profiles can enforce a policy for system or application files, network access, or even raw I/O. It's an essential tool for hardening your Ubuntu server, helping you compartmentalize potential vulnerabilities in different applications. The profile files are usually written in a straightforward language, similar to many Linux configuration files, making them accessible to administrators. The hardening recommendations I would use would be to utilize enforce mode. AppArmor profiles can be in complain mode, which to go over my hardening recommendations, I'm going to start with utilizing enforce mode. AppArmor profiles can be in complain mode, where policy violations are only logged but not stopped. However, for hardening systems, you should ensure that profiles are running in force mode, which actually blocks the unauthorized activities. Next, there's least privilege access. You can modify profiles to restrict access to only the necessary resources for an application to function correctly. This follows the principle of least privilege, reducing your overall attack surface. And then finally, there is regular updates and audits. Security is a moving target, and new vulnerabilities are discovered regularly, so it's really important to keep your profiles up to date and audit them periodically. Then command to check status. And then you also have the command sudo AA status, which reveals the number of profiles loaded and how many are enforced. Internet Information Services, or IIS, is a server for Microsoft that runs on Windows systems to serve requested HTML pages or files. When coupled with HTTPS, it uses SSL and TLS protocols to encrypt the data packets sent over the network. This ensures secure transmission of sensitive data like login credentials and sensitive information. All right, and then we're going to go over the hardening recommendations for this section. We have first SSL pinning. This technique ensures that clients communicate only with the designated server, which reduces your risk for things like man-in-the-middle attacks. And then next we have using updated certificates. Always keep your SSL and TLS certificates updated. Make sure you hop for high reputation certificate authorities. That way you have the most trusted and secure ones of those. And then lastly, we have content security policy. It's really important to implement CSP headers to prevent cross-site scripting and for data injection attacks. That's what's best for that. Okay, next we're going to move on to Apache and Tomcat. So both Apache and Tomcat are very highly powerful web server solutions for the Linux platform. Apache is more known for its flexibility and power, whereas Tomcat is used for its simplicity and ability to run Java-based applications. When you configure these with HTTPS, these servers utilize SSL and TLS protocols to ensure data transmission. And to go over my hardening recommendations for this section, first we have limit exposure with firewalls. Use IP tables or equivalent firewalls to limit access to your web server, allowing only necessary ports like 443 and HTTPS. Next we have data encryption at rest. Besides HTTPS encryption for data in transit, also use disk level or database level encryption for data at rest. And then lastly, regular updates, of course. Keep your Apache and your Tomcat servers updated for the latest version. That way, any security vulnerabilities that come out, they can be taken care of as soon as possible. And to summarize, while HTTP and HTTPS are essentially the same thing, HTTPS adds an additional layer of security, obviously, by encrypting the data packets. This is crucial for protecting sensitive user data. HTTPS commonly uses port 443, unlike HTTP, which uses port 80. The use of HTTPS has become increasingly important, not only for security, but also for SEO and user trust.